Hello, welcome to this short video, Food Supplements. My name's Andy Bowles and I'm a food lawyer. This is number 15 in a series of 100 short videos on UK food law topics. Now you might be watching this as part of our online training service, in which case you can download some additional resources, watch an hour-long webinar on the topic, as well as another online training course. But if you're joining me on YouTube, you are of course very welcome. So what are food supplements? I'm talking about things like vitamin tablets and bodybuilding mixes, protein powders, mineral capsules, that sort of thing. There is a legal definition of what a food supplement is. It's defined as any food, the purpose of which is to supplement the normal diet, and which is a concentrated source of vitamins or minerals or other substances with a nutritional or physiological effect, alone, in combination, and is sold in dose form. There's quite a few elements to that definition that I just want to explore. The first is supplement the normal diet. A food supplement, there's a bit of a clue in the title, is a supplement. So therefore they should not be used as a substitute for a varied diet. And one of the labelling requirements that are required to be placed on a food supplement is a statement to that effect. Vitamins and minerals. Now, in terms of law, the components that make up a food supplement, vitamins and minerals, are prescribed. There are schedules to the regulations, and you are only allowed to use vitamins and minerals that are actually on those lists, and you can only describe them in the ingredients, or in the lists, or on the label itself, using the terminology described in the regulations. So we've got these vitamins and mineral permitted lists in the regulations. Other substances with a nutritional or physiological effect, well, that's not defined, that's very broad. You can have all sorts of things, ranging from, turmeric to, some botanicals, some various plant extracts, whatever. This covers a whole range of extra ingredients that may be included within a food supplement. Dose form is critical to the definition. So you've got your vitamin, minerals, or other substance, and it's sold in dose form. Dose form basically means things like it could be a tablet, a capsule, pastille, it could be a sachet of powder, it could be a tub of powder with a little dispensing spoon included. If the product is sold in a prescribed dose form, then it's a food supplement. Food supplements must be sold pre-packaged. You can't sell food supplements loose, so they have to be in a packaging, and I say they have to be in dose form. So what are the labelling requirements? Well, food supplements are foods, so they need to be labelled in accordance with the general requirements of food labelling. Now there is another short video on labelling, so you have things like name of food, ingredients list, the quid declaration, etc., durability dates and so forth. Now there are some additional bits for food supplements that appear on the label, but there are also some exemptions. For example, one exemption is food supplements do not have to have the nutritional information as prescribed in food labelling law. So there is a different scheme for food supplements. However, because so many food supplements these days are actually on the supermarket shelf, like your tubs of whey powder or things like that, the business producing it might choose to put nutritional information on there. So they might decide to include the energy, the fat, the carbohydrate, protein, and so forth. If you choose voluntarily to put the nutritional labelling on there, then it must meet the requirements of the food labelling regulations. So it must meet those standards. Okay, so what's the requirement? Well, the name of the food, obviously, is a requirement in food law anyway, but the name must use the word food supplement. There's also, it's the name of the category or vitamin, mineral, other substance that actually characterises the product. So typically, if you've watched a video on food labelling, there is a descriptive name on food supplements. Here's an example. It could be one I prepared earlier: vanilla flavoured pea protein powder food supplement with sweetener and vitamin C. It's got all the components that are required by law. It explains what it is. It's a vanilla flavoured pea protein powder, so the customer knows what they're getting. It's a powder, they know what format it's going to be in. It's a food supplement. Remember, that's the legal name that must be included. There is a legal requirement. If you've got sweeteners in a food, they must be included in the name of the food. And we're bunging the name of the vitamin in as well. So that name does everything. Vanilla flavoured pea protein powder, food supplement with sweetener, and vitamin C. Bit of a mouthful, but you might want to, on a food supplement, use a brand name, but you need to supplement it with a descriptive name. Labelling requirements, you also need to put the portion of product recommended for daily consumption, and you need to have that statement I referred to earlier on. Food supplements should not be used as a substitute for a varied diet. I mean, you could, for example, do something like this. You've got a 30-gram scoop, you've got a kilogram pouch of some powder. It provides 33 servings. It says 1 to 2 scoops recommended per day as part of a varied and balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle. The slight variation of wording there permits, not only does it comply with the food supplements regs, but it permits the use of any health claims that might also be used on this product. Now, if you want to use a health claim on a food supplement, you might want to watch the video on health claims because there are some specific rules on that. You need to have statement not to exceed the daily recommended dose. You need to have statement to the effect that the product should be stored out of the reach of young children. And sometimes that's put together. In terms of the nutritional information, I say you don't have to have nutritional information as prescribed by the food labelling regs. Instead, you can actually put the amount of vitamin, mineral or other substance in numerical form with relevant unit of measurement as specified in the regs, per recommended daily portion, an average amount based on analysis, and include any reference to vitamins and minerals if there are things. So here we've got a tablet, and instead of having the full nutritional information, it just says product information. It identifies the other substance, and then it will say per tablet 400 milligrams, per 2 tablet serving 800 milligrams. So it's telling you how much of the active substance contained within the food supplement would be in the recommended dose. But as I say, if you want to have, in addition to that, the normal nutritional panel, then you do need to make sure you follow the specific rules on that. So what are the non-compliances? To be fair, I've worked in this field for many years. Finding non-compliances on food supplements labels is like shooting rats in a barrel. It's really straightforward. The most basic errors, first of all, are claims. Making claims that are not substantiated. If you're not familiar with claims, go and watch my video on nutrition and health claims, because they're the ones that usually cause the problem. Medicinal claims are prohibited in food law. You cannot say that a food supplement prevents, treats or cures a disease, because then it stops being a food. It stops being a food supplement. It starts becoming a medicine, and that falls within a different regulatory feature or structure. Unsubstantiated claims are rife. Now, remember, a key non-compliance is not just the label of the product. The same rules apply not just to the label on the product, but the same rules apply to social media posts. If you're putting something on Facebook or on X or on Instagram, or you're doing an advert on the TV, whatever, you have to stick to exactly the same rules as on the label. So many people I've come across in the past have stuck to the rules on the product and then gone completely bonkers when it comes to social media and found themselves in trouble. Using non-permitted ingredients. Now, that's a broad statement. Remember, vitamins and minerals can only be used in accordance with the regs. Not only will it list the vitamins and minerals, but it will also list out the sort of format that those vitamins and minerals can be presented in. You get things like novel ingredients. If you're not familiar with novel foods are foods that there's no history of real substantial consumption in the UK or the EU prior to the 15th of May 1997. Bit of an odd definition, but it means that if there's a new ingredient to the market, so you're bringing some mushroom extract into your food supplement because nobody's ever done it before, chances are it's a novel food. That means it's a regulated product. That novel food must be authorised before it's placed on the market. It's likely, if you're using a novel food in your food supplement, it's likely that your food supplement will become unlawful. So you need to check that. If you're not familiar with novel foods, go and watch my novel food video. And there is a webinar on our online training service on the topic. Non-permitted additives. A lot of supplements are imported. I've seen loads coming from the US where they have a different additive structure. So their additives that might be present are not permitted in the UK. Typically, again, from Australia, you get a lot of supplements being imported. If you're involved in importing food supplements from around the world, you need to make sure that the additives used in those ingredients, not only are they appropriate, so they're permitted, but also they use different words for them. So they call them different things, and they have to be, of course, called the right thing on a label. But the most basic error, schoolboy error, is not to include the basic food supplement label information I've just run through. So, if you don't have a proper name and you don't put the proper warnings on there, it's really easy because it's just a simple list. But an enforcement officer will pick up a food supplement and as a first stage, they'll just look to see whether you've included all the basic information for a food supplement. If you haven't, that's a red flag that there's something wrong with your products and they may investigate it further. Okay, right. Well, thank you for listening to that that video on food supplements. That's just one of 100 videos that I'm producing on the topics of food laws. So please join me on one of the other 99, and thank you for listening.